Here's what's happening right now. Auburn police are investigating a shooting at an East Alabama apartment complex. Hear from one of the victims' family coming up. Plus, the $85 billion mandatory budget cuts are in effect while the finger pointing in Washington is still not over. That's next as well. Today marks 1 year since a tornado damaged the small town of Henryville, Indiana. What the community did today to remember the victims and celebrate the town's rebuilding efforts. Good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Rosalind Giles. And we are following some breaking news out of Auburn this evening. Officials have confirmed a shooting with multiple victims off of North Gay Street. It happened at the Hyatt House Apartments, very close to the Auburn University campus. News Leader 9's Dante Renzulli was at the scene and has the details on this breaking story.
Well, police have been processing the crime scene at the apartments for hours, taking pictures and collecting evidence, and investigators may already have a suspect in mind. At about 9:30 this morning, Auburn police were dispatched to the Hyatt House Apartments on North Gay Street for a report of many gunshots heard in the area.
We responded and found two males suffering from what appears to be multiple gunshot wounds. They have both been transported to the East Alabama Medical Center where they're being treated for their injuries, and we're currently working the scene trying to develop suspects. We do have some people of interest we're looking for. We just ask for the community's prayers, and hopefully we will resolve this by the end of the day today.
Police identified the victims as 20-year-old Randy Holland of Auburn and 24-year-old Lorenzo Jackson of Opelika. Both men were shot in the legs, and both are expected to survive. Holland's aunt is a professional driver who says her daughter called her with the news as she was working, and she interrupted one of her fares to come racing to the scene.
I turned around and brought the lady all the way back to Auburn. And then I had to turn around and take her back to work. I told my daughter, I called my daughter, told her, don't scare me like that no more. For real. Because I just know they said somebody was dead. First thing hit me was him.
Holland's aunt says when the shooting occurred, he was visiting his girlfriend who lives in the apartments. The shooting happened inside the building. She says she can't imagine why it happened, but she's interested in finding out.
My nephew was a good boy. He just been hanging with the wrong folks, that's all. He's good at heart.
Authorities have not elaborated on what they believe was the motivation for the attack. Police believe that this was an isolated incident where both the victims and the shooter knew each other. No other residents or students in the area should be in danger. Rosalind?
All right, Dante, thank you for that report. Now, we are also following some breaking news out of Florida tonight. This is a live picture of Interstate 95 near Orlando. Officials say they have shut down the highway in both directions due to a brush fire and poor visibility there. Now, you can see just how thick the smoke is from this live shot. Officials also say there are brush fires in both Volusia and Osceola counties. We will continue to follow this story on WTVM.com and tonight at 11. A teenager made his first court appearance this morning on charges of burglary and car theft. New at 6, 17-year-old Altavius Carr is charged an adult for his role in what police are calling an organized car theft and burglary ring. Carr was caught when he jumped out of a stolen Cadillac. It was being chased from Phoenix City to Columbus. The Cadillac was taken from a house on Royal Drive. Carr is being held in jail on $70,000 bond. Now to Washington. As of midnight last night, mandatory federal spending cuts went into effect. President Obama and GOP lawmakers are still trading accusations of blame over the $85 billion federal spending cuts. President Obama blames Republicans in Congress for the cuts, which he says will have a ripple effect across the economy. Now, Republican leaders say they have done the work and passed budget bills in the House to keep the cuts from taking effect. Former GOP presidential candidate Mitt Romney is weighing in on the mandatory budget cuts. He blasted President Barack Obama over the $85 billion in forced spending cuts. Since November, Romney has pretty much stayed out of the spotlight, but now he is not keeping quiet and is voicing his opinions about the president. Romney says he thinks President Obama should be acting in the best interest of the nation. The comments mark the first time the former Massachusetts governor has publicly criticized the president since the election. And we have new details tonight in the shooting of a University of South Alabama student. A grand jury decided Friday night not to charge a campus police officer in the shooting death of University of South Alabama student. Now, the jury says surveillance video proved Officer Travis Austin was justified in shooting Gil Collar last October. Police say Collar was naked and banging on a window at a campus police station there. Reports indicate Collar had ingested a small amount of chemical substance similar to LSD, and this may have caused him to begin acting erratically. In other state news tonight, an Atlanta man has been charged in the death of Usher's stepson. New at 6, Jeffrey Hubbard was arrested Friday in Hall County. Hubbard is being charged with killing 11-year-old Kyle Glover in a boating collision last summer. Kyle is the son of Usher's ex-wife, Tamika Raymond. Authorities say Kyle and his father, Raymond Glover, were vacationing at Lake Lanier when Hubbard crashed a personal watercraft into the boys' raft July 6th. Kyle died at a hospital on July 21st. Hubbard is being held without bond.